She got some crazy breast milk.
So buttery.
Whoa, that's what he said last night. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today we are back with another dun dun mukbang. Woo! I'm so freaking excited because today we have practically pretty much the entire lunch menu of McDonald's. I got the most, okay, honestly, truth be told, there was no way that I could get everything from McDonald's because then that would it would just be a shit show, okay? So I got all of the iconic pieces. Here we have a bacon Big Mac. Did you see that? Mac. Oh my god, today's a great day. And then here we have a buttermilk fried chicken sandwich. This one is the mushroom sausage patty with like the fried onions on it.
Juicy.
Yeah, it looks really juicy. And then here we have an OG Big Mac because you need it. And then here we have a kids menu hamburger with a McChicken with another artisan grilled, and then a fried chicken, and then a fish fillet, and then this is the artisan grilled. We finally, for the first time, are trying their buttermilk chicken tenders. We've got 2 hash browns, some bacon cheese fries. We got some chicken nuggets. We got the apple pie. We got a little bit of fries back here. We got a cookie, and we got 3 hot cakes. And my favorite, when I was younger, an Oreo McFlurry. And on top of that, the best thing ever.
What is that?
I haven't had a Happy Meal in forever.
Oh.
So we got
A dog toy.
woo, that they're gonna kill. Speaking of things that I love other than McDonald's and Happy Meals, let me tell you something, okay? I am somebody who's a little bit crazy about germs. Yes, I know, shocker. After all the dirty details of my life that you know, you wouldn't think so. But I am. And here's something that I love to do after every mukbang. I'm a religious toothbrusher. You have no idea. And my gums are sensitive, so it's a really bad combo to be addicted to brushing your teeth, but also have the most sensitive mouth ever, which is why I started using the Vanity Planet Element Sonic toothbrush. I am so obsessed with this baby for the first reason that where do you keep your toothbrush? In the bathroom. Do you know how dirty that place is? This has a UV light that you stick your toothbrush heads into, and it kills 99.9% of germs while it's in there, safe, secured. This toothbrush is so gentle. They have different modes. They have clean, they have soft, they have whiten, and they even have massage to massage your gums, biz. But I like to use clean. I have really sensitive teeth, but I don't even have to use soft. So if you have extra sensitive teeth, this is the one for you. Okay,
this is so much better than the old one we have.
We had an electric toothbrush that my sister gave me, and like low-key love you on me, but that one sucked. Okay, I'm gonna get you one of these.
No, that one was good, but until we tried this one.
Yeah,
this
there's
one
a
really,
difference
you feel
because
a difference.
this one is 40,000 vibrations a minute, which is the maximum sonic pulsations you can have, and it just cleans you so well. So if you guys are interested in getting your teeth, your pearly whites clean, because they even have a whitening aspect, definitely check out the link in the description and use code MissMangoButt75 to get 75% off my favorite thing in the restroom. Seriously, you need it, biz. And the battery life lasts 2 weeks, so we can take it to Korea without the charger and be like brushing our teeth in Korea, okay? Thank you, Vanity Planet, for sponsoring today's video and keeping our pearly whites white. And I'm gonna use her after this McDonald's, but let's get into the food. I don't even know where to start. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Oreo McFlurry. I stopped getting these after I got older just because I don't know why, I just didn't really crave them anymore, but
I'm just gonna start with something. It's a little McDonald's.
it's cold.
Can I have some?
You know what my biggest complaint with Oreo McFlurries is?
What?
Not enough Oreo to flurry ratio. Always gets me. They put a lot at the top so they can catfish you into thinking you got a ton. So as a kid, you get excited and you eat all the Oreo bits off the top, and then the rest is just literally vanilla shake, and you're like,
can't
what
ask
the hell?
for more?
I don't think so.
Extra Oreo?
I never tried.
Oh, you just break some Oreos in there.
Oh. I guess you could. You could come home and do your own Oreos. Okay, I have to try this juicy one. This is one of the ones that I haven't tried yet, along with the chicken tenders. So it's got onion rings. It's got a lot of sauce. It's so saucy.
If anyone never had this, that's what it looks like.
Whoa! Whoa! That one's throwing me off. I don't know if I like that. It doesn't taste like McDonald's.
Whoa.
It's kind of salty.
Whoa.
Hash brown, right?
Wow, what am I eating?
It's confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like it? I don't know if I like it.
It's not bad, just
Chicken nugget.
doesn't taste like McDonald's.
Got buffalo sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of tastes like Five Guys, because Five Guys always does like mushroom on their burgers and stuff, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know if I can get with it. Okay, you guys know my favorite fast food, any fast food joint, I have to get the grilled chicken sandwich. That's how I decide if this fast food place is worth it. Because if you get a grilled chicken sandwich, it is juicy.
Okay.
What do you think? Oh, you had a nugget.
Good.
What do you think of the nugget? Wow.
Really like the dipping sauce.
This is crazy. Bacon cheese. You guys know I've had it. Ask for less cheese, more bacon. They'll do it for free. It's better. Okay, we got the hot cakes. And then the syrup. Ooh, and then we got the chicken in the syrup. Wait, shut the front door. Am I high? I'm not. Okay. Ready?
Why don't you just wrap it in there? Like a taco.
Wow, honey. Eat that taco. You're gonna love it.
Can I?
Oh, yeah. Here, we'll put it here or something. It's good. It's really good.
That's real creative right here.
Thank you. And some people, I know they're gonna ask me to do this, so we got the French fry, we got the McFlurry. Boom. What do you think?
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's good, right?
This is so weird.
Honestly,
Holy shit, so good.
I feel like slowly I like McDonald's more and more, which is weird. You would think as I get older, it'd be less and less, but surprisingly enough, we're gonna try the buttermilk chicken sandwich where the tomato just flopped out of, sis. Either I'm hungry or this is amazing. I can't tell. I really can't. You know who could tell? Today's story.
Hold on.
People, yeah.
We gotta try the double Big Mac.
Oh God, yeah.
So,
Okay, show them how it's done, boo. Show
take
them.
this off. You put this on top. Bam.
Okay, give it to me. Okay, ready? I can't even. Even a regular Big Mac is hard. I got up to here. How far do you think your mouth will open? Whose mouth can do it better? This is not a game you want to lose. I literally have Big Mac sauce all over me. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna get into today's story because it's kind of a doozy. Oh, good.
It's good.
Is there bacon in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I was about to say.
Oh no.
They ripped me off. Okay. Here's the deal with today's story. My fiance is obviously gonna fall in love with someone new today, and you're welcome, I guess. Okay. So if you guys have been watching us for like the past couple of weeks, you guys know that we're obsessed with a private investigator by the name of Ken Brennan. He's based in Miami, and if we ever run into any trouble, we're gonna be calling him, okay? So this guy is genius. But after reading all of y'all's comments, very few of you guys, not a ton of you guys, so I don't think everybody, this is not like a household name, I think, but there is a detective by the name of Joe Kent, okay? And he's based in Colorado. And during his time as a detective, now he has like books, TV shows, he does interviews, he does trainings. He solved more than 400 homicide cases. That's like one of the biggest numbers for someone to solve. He has a 92% solve rate, which is insane.
Wait, he's a detective too?
But he worked for, Ken at the time that we talked about all of his stories, he's a PI, but this guy was head of the homicide department in Colorado.
Wow.
92% solve rate.
That's awesome.
Crazy. You guys recommended him to me. He has his own TV show. I've been watching it. I've been reading his like articles. It's just insane. His name is Joe Kent. And this one specifically stood out to me because it's so different. Usually I feel like I tell stories of like, oh, this person went missing, this happened. But this one's just scary in a weird way. The Filet-O-Fish is good.
Very good.
It's saucy.
Is it bad to say McDonald's is the king of fast food? I mean, taste-wise,
Really?
I think they got it down.
What?
It's like you can't really go wrong with it.
There's something for everyone, for sure. Right? So, oh my god. I don't even know what I like the most. I'm sorry. Let's just jump into it. So obviously this happened in Colorado, and this is based off of a little girl. And when I say a little girl, I mean a little girl. She was 4 weeks old at the time that this happened. That's a month old. Newborn baby by the name of Rachel White. Now, Rachel, at the time, it was a Friday morning, lovely residential area, very safe area. Her grandmother was babysitting her because her mom, she was at work. Her mom's name is Cora, right? And so her grandmother's babysitting her. And her grandma is actually inviting people over to the house. She's inviting people over because she's actually holding babysitter interviews at the time, Friday morning. Now, she had put an ad out in the newspaper looking for a qualified babysitter. Her daughter, her daughter, but Rachel's mom is always working and she needs help. And like the grandmother, she's busy. She has her own life. She can help as much as she can, but she can't pick up all of the work, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, we have to hire. So she's like, perfect, I'll put out an ad and we'll start interviewing. So she's home alone with Rachel and she starts the interviews. Now, one after one, she's like, this is not a good fit. This person either doesn't speak English or this person doesn't do this. This person doesn't know how to cook. I don't trust this person. This person walked in, has no experience with kids and wants to watch our baby. I don't think so, right?
So grandma is the only person interviewing by herself.
Yeah. And so the next person that walks through the door. Now, this is a very specific person, and I'm going to give you all the details about this person, not because it matters, but it's pertinent to the case later on. So her name is Sharon Sanchez, and she's a Hispanic woman, but she speaks perfect English. She has black hair, and she has red highlights. So you would think that this is a very specific description of this lady, right? And she walks in, and she's so nice. Holy shit, she's so put together. She's wearing a pantsuit. She's maternal but strict. Like, her vibe is, like, on point, you know? It's like, yeah, she's gonna watch my baby, but she's not gonna let my baby be spoiled type of vibe, right? And so she's interviewing. Everything's going well. Her resume, stellar, okay? Her school education, she can help with homework later on. I mean, she looks so promising. And so the two of them are in the living room. They're having a good chat. They're getting along. And honestly, the grandma is like, she's the one.
But does she seem like overqualified?
No.
Just very good candidate, I see. I thought you were saying like she graduated from Harvard.
I mean, she might ask for more pay, but she was like the perfect. Did you know in Beverly Hills?
Yeah, you told us.
Insane. If I was good with kids, guys, I'd be a nanny. That's insane, don't you think?
Yeah, a little bit. This one's really good. What is this?
Buttermilk chicken sandwich.
Oh. So buttery.
Whoa. That's what he said last night.
What?
Okay, you don't get it? Like my butt is buttery. Like, ooh, bitch, you buttery or whatever. Is that a pickup line or did I just make that shit up? Probably. So, it's getting real messy down here. I feel like I'm morphing into a Big Mac.
So buttery, huh?
So, interviewing. Suddenly, the phone rings in the other room. No. The grandma is thinking, this is the perfect time. I'm just gonna go grab the phone. Why don't you hold Rachel, see if she starts crying, see if she likes you, what's the chemistry like, because you want to know these things.
Yeah.
So then she's like, okay, this will be the last test. Everything already looks good, but maybe your interaction with the baby is weird. So she passes over the baby, goes to pick up the phone. It's a quick phone call, just yeah, I'll call you back, I'm in the middle of something. Hangs up the phone, goes back to the living room, and Sharon and the baby are missing. 4-week-old Rachel White has been kidnapped from her home. So Evelyn, the grandmother, flips shit, obviously, runs outside, and she sees Sharon with the baby run into her silver car and drive on off. She's like, okay, what do I do? Get the license plate, okay? Grandmas think fast. So she's trying to look at the license plate, which was a little bit strange. The first thing that she noticed about this license plate is the fact that they are in Colorado, but it had Texas plates. But she couldn't get the Texas number because it was smeared with mud.
Oh.
So the car literally drove away with her granddaughter in there, and she couldn't do much.
That's crazy. The woman just booked it.
So she watched her granddaughter get kidnapped on the street, booked it. And so immediately she calls 911. Now in comes homicide detective, right? Joe Kent. And so the reason that he's called into this is because in a case like this, with such a young child, it can go only so many ways, right? This is their first thought. Usually when something like this happens, it's targeted. It's a revenge plot. It's something that people want to hurt you for some reason.
Yeah.
The second thing is, this seems professional, right? So maybe it's more of a ransom plot. They steal your baby and they say, hey, you want your baby back? Give me $100K to this thing, So then they're like, okay, now we got to look for a ransom note. Or the third thing, which is the worst thing, is that your baby is going to a sadist who is very evil, right? Just wants to hurt things. Or your baby's getting sold.
Yeah, exactly.
And so with it being sold, if babies are sold, they said there's way less than a 1% chance that they'll ever come back. And they go fast. So what he's saying is if the entire purpose of this is to sell Rachel, you don't even know what's happening, because this is an organization that's going to move this baby out the border of Colorado and maybe out of the country within so much time. Scary, right? Now, they don't tell the family any of this because that's very alarming. The daughter is called from work and she's racing home. She calls the baby daddy, and the police immediately, they want to interview the grandma. Joe is like, I want to get all the details from her. Crime scene is inside the house, getting fingerprints, any DNA. Did she leave the resume? Did she leave an ID with you? Whatever. They're trying to get everything they possibly can.
Yeah.
Now, Joe at the time, his first go-to is to always not interrogate, but question the 911 caller, okay? So he starts asking her, what did she look like? Why did you let her in? So you felt comfortable enough to have you hold the baby. And so he's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Because the grandma at this point, she's crying. She's like, it's all my fault. It's all my fault.
Yeah, I bet.
So he's like,
she literally handed the baby to the woman.
Would you be mad at your grandma if they did that to our baby?
Come on.
What?
Even if you don't want to be mad,
You'll be
there's
mad.
no way in your heart there's no resentment towards that. Right? Remember your sister's dog? There's no way. Right?
What if it was your mom, though? Isn't that closer?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
He's like, doesn't matter, I'm angry. That's true. I think in the beginning, you're not as mad, but then if it really looks like you're not getting your baby back, I feel like slowly. Right, so police are questioning. Their first instinct is, this is somebody who probably knows you, who probably hates you, right? Otherwise, it's a ransom, which at this point, it had been a couple hours since the baby was taken. At this point, they would have mailed, they would have called, they would have done something to let you know, hey, I want money, go work on getting money. Because if they don't immediately let you know that, the police are getting involved, right?
Yeah.
It's very pertinent that they give you a ransom note and they say, hey, we haven't gotten a ransom note. This is out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
So it's got to be personal. We're hoping it's personal. And so they start questioning the mom, and they're like, hey, listen, where's the baby daddy? Is he a part of your life? Is he a part of the baby's life? And she goes, yeah. Not really. And so the police go, well, what's not really? Joe Ken is like, what the hell is not really, dude? Let me know. And then she goes, well, here's the thing, right? He used to be my teacher when I was 13 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And nothing happened when he was my teacher. But 10 years later, I ran into him at a bar when I'm 23. And he was married at the time. He had kids, but he was so unhappy in his relationship that we started having an affair. Now, this affair lasted about 4 years. Now, during this time, his wife probably didn't know until the end. She got an anonymous phone call, okay? Saying, hey, your husband's having an affair with one of his former students. Her name is, Cora. Go check it out.
Gosh.
And so then the wife confronts the husband. The husband is like, I'm sorry, baby. I won't do it again. And she's like, you know what? I don't want to break up our family, so let's stay together. The wife's name is Becky, right? And the guy's name is Jim. That's the baby daddy. And so then she was like, after the wife found out about our affair, she came over to my house where I used to live and was like, going off on me, saying, you better stay away from my husband, boo, right? And for some reason, I just felt it in my heart. Something told me, get out of this. And so I moved about an hour away, and I thought, okay, the affair is over. I'm going to move on. I'm going to start fresh in a new town and get away from this craziness.
Yeah.
Now, somewhere along the way, Jim came back and was like, baby, don't leave me, right? Real telenovela, okay?
Okay.
Baby, don't go. And they started dating again. And they slept with each other, and she got pregnant. And then she said that she wanted to keep it. He was somewhat supportive, but she doesn't know if the wife knows that they have a baby, an illegitimate child.
Okay.
So the police are like, okay, this seems suspicious. We gotta go find Becky. We gotta go find Jim.
Yeah.
And she's all like, well, Jim's already on his way. I told him what happened, okay? So Jim gets there. They question Jim. He's pretty open book. He tells them everything. He has an alibi. And why would he kidnap his own daughter? So people were thinking, oh, maybe this is a custody battle, right? That was their first thought. Maybe Jim wants the baby, right? But that didn't seem like the case.
They didn't think it was human trafficking? Why?
Just very rare.
I thought you said they could sell the baby.
Yeah. That was like so usually stranger abductions don't happen as often, especially in somebody's home. So it's one thing if
so
you're at the
like-
grocery store and you have a baby and you leave the baby, but this is like they came to your
They
house.
planned it.
It's like
Yeah.
it seems like it's targeted to this family, not just let's take any baby from Kroger, or like from the Whole Foods parking lot, right? So they're like, maybe it's somebody that knows. And all of a sudden they're like, okay, we just want to rule this out, right? But now they have someone with massive motives. Becky, the wife, let's say she's angry. She's already like tried to break into her house and knock on the door and yell at her, stay away from my husband. Maybe she found out about the kid and was like, F this kid. I want this kid out the picture, right? Because this is something that's connecting my husband and his mistress together, so we're going to get the kid out of here.
Yeah.
Right? So then they question Jim, and he's like, yeah, my wife actually knows about the baby. And so they're going,
Wife knows everything.
But there were a lot of questions that were left out. Such as, when did she find out about the baby, okay?
Yeah.
Pertinent.
Oops.
What just happened? And so then they go over to where the wife is, and they realize this lady just found out they had a baby. That's the convenient part that Jim left out, is the fact that Becky just found out, because after Rachel was kidnapped and the mom called the baby daddy, the baby daddy called his wife and confessed to everything as he was driving on over.
Why?
Because probably police are going to get involved, So he'd rather her hear it from him.
So he doesn't want her to be surprised.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the police hella questioned her. And Joe Kent says, you know what? I believed her. She looked like she really did just find out like an hour ago.
So she has no motive.
So that would be after the crime took place. So it's
Yeah.
like she wouldn't have been able to plan it. And she wasn't the one. She's blonde with blue eyes. She doesn't fit the description.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So then this led them to believe, okay, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's a scorned lover, a scorned colleague. What's going on in this family's life? They question everybody. And unfortunately, they realized this was a stranger abduction, which usually means death is coming very soon or your baby is being sold. And so right now, it's a race to the time. They call all the airports, they call all the border controls, they call every state trooper, everyone, just putting out information about 4-week-old Rachel White. Here's the crazy thing about when they went back to the crime scene after all of their like questioning of all of their personal relatives, friends, family, coworkers, it's confirmed that this seems like a professional hit from a stranger because obviously they used a fake name, okay? Sharon Sanchez was not her name. She even took the resume that she brought with her off the coffee table with the baby. She did not leave any hair on the floor. She barely touched things. There wasn't like a water glass she drank out of with DNA on it. She didn't even leave her fingerprints on the doorknob as she was exiting.
What?
So this seems like, okay, this is somebody who does this on a professional level, or it was meditated to the point where it's like, why, right?
Yeah.
Why Rachel? It's gonna stun you. It's crazy.
So Cam basically, at this time, he's like, this is a stranger. Basically targeting this girl and probably going to sell them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they do the only thing that they can do at this
You
time
like the
because.
apple pie?
Well, I haven't had this one yet.
Oh.
Yeah. I know you want the apple pie. He
No,
loves
no,
apple
no,
pie.
no. It's okay.
Yeah.
You sure?
I don't like pies that much. Like I don't like baked fruit.
Yeah. Me either.
I'd rather just eat an apple.
I like it crunchy though. This tastes pretty good.
Apple pies used to be bigger at McDonald's. I don't know what happened.
Is that true?
She's a skinny legend.
Are
now.
you sure? Not because you were little?
No. Remember they used to be flat? They didn't have all those holes in it. Do you remember? It's just like flat.
Are you sure? You sure you're not getting it confused with somebody?
My
somebody
dad loved McDonald's apple pies. Yeah.
Aww.
I know. Suddenly I'm crying. It's okay. My dad's still alive, by the way. Sorry. I feel like that was misleading.
Yeah.
They make Cora do this thing, which they said that this is the one thing that they need to do at this point because they have no leads, they have no DNA, they have nothing. They don't even have a license plate. They have nowhere to look at this point. So they let everybody in the area know, but they said, Cora, listen, as a mother, I know that you're emotional right now, but you need to go to anybody who will listen, any news outlet, any press station, and cry and beg for your baby back and speak directly to Sharon. Literally address her. Sharon, please bring my baby back, okay? You want all eyes on this case. You want press. You want attention. You want to be that grieving mother so people give a shit about your baby.
Why is that?
Because people want to feel emotions. People want to be able to relate to the mom so that they can try to look for the baby, you know?
I see.
Otherwise, it's just like, oh, a baby went missing. It's so sad, but you don't feel then like,
Right.
I got to do something right now about it, you know? And so she goes to all these news stations. She's emotional. She gives all these statements, and she's addressing Sharon. Now, this is where leads start coming in because people are like, oh, my God, I want to help. I think I saw something suspicious. They get hella leads. First, somewhat credible lead is from a pizza delivery guy. And he says, I got a call to this house. This woman, she fits the description because they had put out a sketch of her, right? One of those police sketches.
Yeah.
She was Hispanic. I think her last name was Sanchez or something like that. She ordered a pizza. She had a check ready for me. She had a baby, and she seemed really nervous, and she really wanted me to get out of there. Like, usually when I go do pizza deliveries, they're, like, counting their money, especially when you have a baby. You're, like, overwhelmed, so you're like, oh, my God, the pizza's here. Okay, let me get my wallet, you know? But she's like, I have a check ready for you. Thank you, bye, right? And slams the door shut. And then afterwards, he was like, man, something does seem weird. So he goes to the police. The police are like, okay, what's the address? He gives them the address. 2 detectives show up. In the car driveway is a silver sedan. And they say, that is the car that they were driving. They go over to check out the license plate, but it's a Colorado plate. And the detective looks at the other one and goes, but they could have switched it out. Right, so they go, okay, let's just go talk to her. They go to the front door, they knock on the door, and sure enough, a Hispanic woman matching her description shows up at the front door.
Yeah.
And they say, hi, listen, what's your name? And she's like, I'm Karen Chavez, right? So they're like, oh, Sanchez Chavez, maybe he got it wrong, right? And they go, do you have a baby in this house? She goes, yeah, I have a baby in the house. What the hell is wrong with you, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, we need to see your baby. She's like, no, I'm not showing you my baby. And then they go, we need to see your baby because there's been a baby that's been kidnapped and you are going to show us your baby.
Yeah.
She's like, what the hell? So reluctantly, she goes. And you slowly start seeing a baby come into the doorway, into frame. Now the police take one look at that baby and they realize unless the pizza had growth stimulants in there, this baby's like 8 months old and they're looking for a 1-month-old baby. This ain't it, okay? This ain't the baby. And so they apologize profusely. They say, hey, listen, we're just trying to do your job. Your baby's beautiful. Give a baby a kiss on the head and they leave, okay? Because they're like, that's not the baby.
How do you know she only had one baby in there?
I almost...
You okay?
Yeah. How did they know?
Maybe 5 more babies inside. If that's her profession.
You're right.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming it's not her, huh? Okay.
But you should be a detective.
Should I?
Wow.
Dun dun.
Seriously.
Seriously? I am really surprised how good.
Really?
Yeah.
I like the cookie. So at this point, Joe Ken, he's working nonstop. He's literally sleeping at the police department, okay? He's getting angry. He's getting frustrated. And overall, he's just nervous because time is ticking, and that is not a good sign. Every second that goes by, the less of a chance that they will ever find this baby, especially find this baby alive and well, right? So he's freaking out. All they're getting is bad lead after bad lead. You thought that pizza delivery dude with Karen is a bad lead? No, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse until one day Joe gets a special call from one of his detectives and says, hey, listen, Joe, you really need to hear this lead out, right? And he goes, what's going on? And then he goes, there's an Air Force major who wants to talk to you. And so when you have someone saying they know something about a case and they're an Air Force major that already works with the government, that is a reputable person, you're like, holy shit, this person probably has something good to say. Otherwise, why would they be here? So he starts interviewing the Air Force major, and come to find out, this major says something very interesting. He says, okay, so it's an Army tradition that if someone underneath you, someone where you are their sergeant or your major or their leader or whatever, and they have a baby, it's you welcome them to the Army or whatever, right? Or the Air Force, right?
Yeah.
By bringing them like baby warming gifts to the house.
Yeah.
And you go visit the baby. It's like
gosh.
out of respect, right?
Yeah.
So he says, I've been doing that with everyone that works underneath me. And I have this guy, he's a captain. He's a good captain. His name is Paul. Now, one day he comes up to me and he's like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's so beautiful. My wife had a baby on Friday. And so the Air Force major is like, good for you, Bits. Good for you. Congratulations. It's a girl. Oh my God, that's awesome, right? And then he goes, thank you so much. We're so blessed. Now, the captain walks away. Captain Paul walks away. And the Air Force major is just like, that's a little bit weird because I have never once heard him say that his wife is pregnant. And so then he was like, but you know what? We're talking about the Air Force. We don't really talk about our personal lives like that, okay?
Yeah.
So he was like, he told his wife, and his wife and him went to Toys R Us or whatever they went to and bought a bunch of gifts and showed up unannounced at Captain Paul's house because he was on paternity leave or whatever. And so he shows up at the house with the wife.
Unannounced.
And Paul is so happy to see him. At first, he's like, is there a problem at the base? But then he's like, no problem. We just wanted to drop off some gifts. And he's like, oh my God, thank you so much. We're so happy.
Yeah.
The wife comes out from the back of the house and she's looking tired. She's looking like a new mom, okay?
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh my God, where's the baby? She goes, the baby's finally sleeping. And so they go, oh my gosh, could we just take, like the wife of the Air Force major, she's like, can we just take one look? Because she likes babies, okay? The Air Force major, he's like, I could care less. And the wife is like, can I just take one look? I love newborn babies, right? And she's like, but she's sleeping, right? And then the captain goes, it's fine, let them come watch, right? And so they go into the room, and the wife is like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's so cute little, right?
Yeah.
And so then the Air Force major goes, hi, little one. And then they leave.
Yeah.
Now, the minute that they get in the car, he's just driving away thinking, no, I'm so happy that all my underneaths are getting happy, starting families, welcome to the Air Force, right? And the wife goes,
Gosh.
so what did Paul tell you exactly?
Oh my gosh.
And he goes, what do you mean? She goes, because that baby's not a newborn.
Oh my
He
god.
goes, what? Yeah, it is. Didn't even have hair or nothing. She goes, no, that's not. I've seen a newborn baby, honey.
Do they have a kid?
I think so. She goes, that's not a newborn. And he's like, what? She's like, trust me, it's not. And then he's like, okay, you're honestly crazy. Maybe they're just feeding the baby good. Maybe she got some crazy breast milk, okay? Who knows? What do you know, lady, right? And so they get into a little bit of a couple's argument. Now they go home, they turn on the news, and a baby is missing. And he goes, okay, well, I should maybe say something just in case, okay? And that's how I ended up here, guys. So he tells all of this to Joe Kent. So they send detectives
Yeah.
to Captain Paul's. First thing they notice, in the driveway,
It's a silver car.
silver sedan with Texas license plates with mud on the license plate.
Oh my god, how can you?
They knock on the door. Paul opens it, says, hi, can I help you? They go, can we come in? We're detectives with the Colorado Police Department. They come in, and the wife, they said, it was a picture. The sketch was literally like a picture of her.
Oh my gosh.
Matched perfectly. And so they go, hi, so we heard you just had a baby. And she goes, yeah. And they go, what day? And she goes, just Friday.
That's the moment she knows she's screwed.
Yeah. And she goes, on Friday. And the police go, what hospital? She's like, oh, that hospital nearby. And they go, with which doctor? Which doctor delivered your baby? That's not something you forget, right?
Yeah.
She goes, Dr. Cohen. And so then Joe is like, well, do you mind showing me the birth certificate of your baby? Right? And she goes, why in the hell would you need a birth certificate of my baby? Do you go around asking everybody for their birth certificates of their children that they just had? Listen, lady, listen, dude, I just birthed a baby. You coming up in here asking me for all these documentations. I birthed a baby, right? So she's getting a little bit defensive.
Yeah.
And then he's like, ma'am, you just have to show us the birth certificate. It's A-okay, right? Shows it to one detective. Now, the first detective that sees it, he's like, holy shit, it's a birth certificate, and it's an authentic documentation. It's not some copy paper. It's not a legal paper. It literally looks like a paper from the doctor's office.
Friday?
Yeah. Delivered at
What?
like 3 p.m. So it literally looks like a piece of paper from the doctor's office. So he
my
goes,
gosh.
oh shit, right? Maybe that baby just big, you know?
Yeah.
So then he's like, oops. So then he gives it to the detective right next to him. And this detective has 4 kids. And he goes, I've seen 4 birth certificates. And this is hospital legal authenticated paper, but it's been forged. Birth certificates don't come on hospital paper looking like this. And
So it's a...
so it is a hospital paper. I don't know how she got it, but it's not a birth certificate. And so he looks at her and he goes, we're not leaving until you show us your baby. She goes, I'm not showing you my baby. Do you have a warrant? My baby's sleeping. And they go, listen, we're not leaving until you show us your baby. Now, at this point, Captain Paul is like, what the hell is going on? My wife just birthed the baby, and you coming up in here being all sassy. Do you know that I work with the Air Force? Do you know that I also serve this
Wait.
beautiful country?
He had no clue?
He's getting all riled up and shit, right? So then the police are like, just show us the goddamn baby. So then she hesitantly goes to the back, and at this point, she's not even putting up a fight. She brings out Rachel. I said it. She brings out Rachel, and the police look at the baby, and this is the first thing they do. They lift up the baby's little shirt to show the belly button. Apparently, if you have a newborn, there's Band-Aids on the belly button.
Got it.
Nothing. Completely healed.
Right.
And so they say, we're taking both of you guys to the station, and we're taking the baby.
Oh, taking the captain and the wife and the baby. Yeah. And they say, okay.
The captain's like, why are we going down to the station? You got a baby warming party?
He had no clue? The man is so clueless. My baby, your baby? I don't know. I think that's my baby. I don't know. You think he has no clue?
That's the ultimate question. So they go down to the station and they interview Paul first. Now they ask Paul, what's going on? Did you see your wife give birth? What's going on, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, listen, my wife got pregnant and her pregnancy was hard. I'm telling you guys, it was rough, okay? She wouldn't even let me touch the baby. I wanted to feel my baby kick and she would get mad at me because her belly is so sensitive. And so he was like, but you know what? Like, our relationship had been really difficult up until the point that she got pregnant because like I'm always at the base and stuff, and it's just been really rough for us as a couple. And so her pregnancy was kind of like a gift from God. And so obviously I'm just so ecstatic, but she's having a rough pregnancy. Now on Friday, I get a call and she said, hey, I just got home from the hospital. I gave birth. So then he rushes home, and sure enough, their baby is home, and she's home. And he said, and everything was perfect up until y'all showed up and said, show me your baby.
What?
Right?
Do you believe in that thing?
That's what the police said.
What kind of man just, oh yeah, you're pregnant? Sure.
That's what the police said, right? And so they go, you've never seen her bare belly.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. She said it was sensitive. And so they go, okay. Now they go question her. Her real name is not Sharon, it's Marissa. And they question her, and she immediately confesses to the whole thing. She's like, listen, I was pregnant and I had a miscarriage and I couldn't tell my husband. I was scared it was going to ruin our marriage because he was treating me so nicely after I got pregnant, and so I didn't want to tell him. So after I lost the baby, I didn't find it in my heart to tell him. Instead, I started taping pillows to my belly and acting like I was pregnant. Now at this point, at the end of the 9 months, because you know what happens at 9 months? A baby comes out, and there's no way to avoid that, okay? You really can't get yourself out of that one.
I cannot believe this.
So she had a decision to make, right?
Yeah.
Do I tell my husband that I don't have a baby and I was faking it for like months? Or do I just go find a baby? And so they go, this seems like a pretty simple answer, you know? And then, but they were like, but let's see where Marissa takes it, right? And she goes, so obviously I went into the newspapers because I know that people are always hiring babysitters, and I started looking for babies. Now at this point, shopping is a little bit hard on the newspaper because all these babies are old. There's no way I can bring home a 2-year-old and be like, hey honey, I just had a baby, right? And so finally she's going through the ads just thinking about, what do I do? How do I tell him that this is all a lie because I can't get my hands on a baby? And she sees an ad for a 4-week-old newborn baby. And she's like, that's my baby. And so then she went to the interview. She sits down with Evelyn and Rachel in the living room, and she gives her fake resume, fake name, fake everything, right? And she's answering the questions to perfection. Evelyn, the grandmother, is holding the baby, and she says she starts chickening out. She's like, I don't think I can do this. How am I supposed to snatch the baby out this old woman's hands and make a run for it? She'd probably tackle me down. I mean, babies make grandmas do crazy things.
Gosh.
But then, God gave her to me. Put her in my arms. The phone started ringing, and the grandma goes, do you want to hold my baby? And I said, that's my baby! And so I took the baby, and I ran.
I went home.
Yeah, and that's my baby. And they said, Bits, you are crazy. Your ass is going to jail. So they arrested her. They tried to arrest Paul. He got out. They both got out on bail. Now here's what happened at the trial. Also, they reunited the mom with Rachel and Rach. It was just a beautiful moment. Apparently everyone at the police station was crying, clapping, laughing, right? Because she started screaming too, that's my baby! And it really was her baby, so it was really nice, right?
Incredible.
You think about it, as police officers, less than 1% chance.
Yeah.
You made it happen. Imagine, like, oh.
No, but the whole kidnapping story is just... Yeah, I don't know.
It gets worse. So they go to court. They didn't have enough evidence to say that Paul was in on it. Now, Joe Kent truly believes that Paul knew about it. Maybe he didn't help his wife, but there's no way that he didn't know that this was a taken baby. Because first of all, no wife in the history of anybody, it doesn't matter if you're an Air Force major, it doesn't matter if you're the goddamn president, okay? If you go into labor, you call in your baby, say, I'm at the hospital, you get your ass down here and take this baby out of my body because it's about to kill me, right? You don't go, hey honey, I just got home.
Surprise.
Yeah, you go get your ass down here and feed me a McFlurry because I'm giving birth to your stupid baby. Like, people get mad when they're like giving birth, you know? You don't just do it all by yourself and then come home and be, oh my god, I just got discharged from the hospital.
I just bought this donut.
Yeah, like, it just doesn't make sense, you know?
Yeah.
So they're like, he had to have known.
Right.
Otherwise, he's way too stupid to be a captain in the Air Force.
Yes.
Which is just a different problem in itself, okay? There needs to be better screening for captains in the Air Force if this is true, right? If his story is true. And so then they go, okay, they can't get a conviction. He goes free. The judge says he's not guilty. There's not enough evidence. So then now it's Marissa's turn for second or first degree kidnapping, right? She pleads mental insanity. She said, I lost my baby. I had a miscarriage during my pregnancy, so I lost my marbles.
Oh, please.
And they gave her no jail time.
She's free?
She had
She's
1 year of hospitalization,
Shut up.
and that's it. So this
No.
lady is running around town free right now.
I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe it. How? How did she get away?
Police department can't believe it either. But they have no control over that, you know? All they can do is identify the suspect and arrest them. They can't decide what the judge can
So
and
is
can't
it
do.
true her story? She actually had a...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A miscarriage,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's so serious because miscarriages are things that most women, I think most, the statistics are really sad, right? I might even have to deal with one, you know? Like, it's not very, very rare. It's a thing that a lot of women go through, but nobody just goes around stealing other people's babies because of it. I mean, this lady, I don't want to say she's crazy because that kind of makes sense that she didn't go to jail, but I think she's really evil. How are you gonna... I don't know. I would just think that if you lose your baby, you would never want another mother to experience that.
Yeah.
That is the story of my first case that I ever read about Joe Kett, and this was when I fell in love with him. I mean, not fell in... You get it. Because that's crazy. Is that not crazy?
It's pretty wild.
But Rachel is now grown now.
Oh, wow.
It's been about like 20 years. I think she finished college. Her mom was in the interview and she was crying because her mom's older now. Her mom was like, I could literally not have asked for a better kid. Like,
Does Rachel have any memories of that? Probably not.
I don't know. She wasn't in the interview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not because you're a month old. But
What
then
a story.
imagine, like, I wonder how old she was when her mom told her what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I would expect pretty old, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It was an unexpected ending. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know in the comments your favorite thing from McDonald's. What's your go-to order? And also let me know in the comments, do you think that she deserved more jail time? Is this not the craziest thing? Now I feel like nobody's gonna let anybody hold their baby, okay? So I love you guys so much. Be safe, keep your kids safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye! Also, check the link in the description to get clean pearly whites for 75% off. Bye!
Doch jetzt bist du ein fester Teil von meinem Leben. Ohne dich vertraust nimmt dir Queen.
Schau, dass dein Lachen noch bleibt, nimm dir einen Tag einmal Zeit, setz um mir ran und erzähl mir in Ruhe, wie es dir geht.
Sitz hin zu dir und wir lachen ein bisschen, nimm mir einen Tag einmal Zeit und erzähl dir aus meinem Leben.
Und weil ich uns zwei kenne, wird das nicht das letzte Mal sein. Ich liebe die Gespräche mit dir bei Kerzen und einem feinen Wein.
Ich weiss es wird nicht das letzte Mal sein, auch ich schätze die Gespräche und mit dir sein.
Jederzeit bin ich da, weil du mir wichtig bist.
Schenk dir mein Ohr, wenn's nicht einfach hast.
Unsere Freundschaft ist wie ein Sommernachtsgedicht. Ich geb Acht auf dich, du gibst Acht auf mich.
Ich weiss noch ganz genau, beim Kreuzen von unseren Wegen. Zwei fremde Menschen mit anderen Zielen.